Hey guys, it's Lav. So this week's topic, we're going to talk about resistance. Last week we talked about moving through resistance, and I got a few inbox messages about how it's hard to take the first step. So I figured we'd actually talk about resistance. Resistance is nothing but fear. A fear, they can be valid fears, they can be valid factors that are contributing to the fear, and they can also be invalid things that we're taking on, right? So it's important to differentiate. So what I want to do today is actually give you a tool to help you differentiate the fears. Take a piece of paper, make 5 columns. In the central column, write goals. I know you really can't see it, and maybe yellow wasn't the right color, but we'll just go with it. So write down goals, and write down the goal of whatever you want to achieve. And I wrote down make a YouTube video and open a bakery. These are just 2 examples I kind of want to walk you through. So beside goals, I wrote down self-limitation. So that's your column right beside goals. In the self-limitation column, I want you to write down valid reasons of the self, why you think you can't do. So for example, for the YouTube video, I wrote down I can't speak off the cuff for 10 minutes, right? Which is a valid reason. I also wrote down I don't know how to make a video, which is also a valid reason. So if it's open the bakery, I wrote down, well, I don't know how to bake, but I think I'll really be really good at baking, right? So that's a reason I can't bake. Or I don't have the money for investment to open a bakery shop. So that's also a valid reason. On the other side of goals, you write down other limitations. So you have goals, you have self-limitations, and then you write down other limitations. The other limitations are either projected fears, what we think others will say to us, right? We have a huge laundry list of these. And sometimes this column, the other limitation column, is bigger than or longer than the self-limitations. So in the other limitations, we talk about, as I said, how we think others will limit us. Or so for example, for the make a YouTube video, I wrote down, well, people will make fun of me, or people will write mean comments, So those are fears, what I think of others. Open a bakery, like I wrote down, well, no one will buy, or the others think I will fail if I open a bakery shop. So these are fears that I write down that of others. I hope the distinction is clear. So now that you have these 3 columns, it's time for discovery columns. So right beside the self, you make another column called a discovery column. And then you write a statement for each of the self-limitation statements. I can't, for example, when I wrote, I can't speak off the cuff for 10 minutes. I wrote down, hey, I could memorize the content. I could write it out, memorize it, or I could write it out and put it right beside the laptop. I could speak to it. Well, I don't know how to make a video. I could learn how to make a video. Like look up on YouTube how to make YouTube videos. So these are practical things you can do to overcome those limitations. For the bakery, well, I can take a baking class. I can get a business loan if I'm worried about the investment. So you get the idea, right? So these are literally practical things you can do to overcome your limitations. These are valid, they're true, and they must be resolved. So now we go to the other limitations, and then we also write a discovery for the other limitations. So this is where it gets to be a lot of fun and where you get to do a lot of reflection and introspection. So when I said people will make fun of me, I have a choice. I can actually think it through. Will these be people who are experts in their field and they think that I don't know what I'm talking about? Or are these people just sitting at home who have nothing to do and just want to say whatever they want, right? Say shit on the thing. So if they're experts on the field, then okay, it's valid. But if these are people who are just sitting at home, then how much importance am I giving to them? If I'm afraid they'll write mean comments, I can also say, hey, I could get a support system who can help me through this. So you're discovering each of the other's limitations. Each statement you You're writing and exploring what it means to you. So, for example, the bakery example, well, no one will buy. The discovery can be, is it because it's a crappy cookie? Or is it because I just fear that no one will buy, because there are too many bakeries in that location? They think I will fail. Why are they saying that? Because is it just they fear? They've never done anything, or they've failed so many times that they're projecting their fear onto you? Or is there validity in their statement? Maybe what they mean is you shouldn't go open a bakery shop, but first sell them from your house, right? So this process is really a discovery process. You have your goals, you have your self-limitations, you have your other limitations, and then you have a discovery column for each where you kind of explore the limitations. This is really good practice to separate emotion from what I call like intellect, practicality, right? Sometimes they get infused and it becomes too much to handle, and it's important to separate them and take practical steps forward to address each of them, so that's a way you can move through the resistance. This is a tool for you. You can give this to your kids sometimes because everybody gets overwhelmed, right? So yeah, so I want to hear if this has worked for you, this has helped you. If you're part of the Facebook group, then by all means, I want to see your chart. You can just upload a screenshot. If you're watching this on YouTube, then I hope you subscribe, and we will see you in our next video. Take care.